Today I want to talk about the pros and the potential cons of moving coil dynamic microphones. A moving coil dynamic microphone, such as this Sennheiser MD431, operate with what's called the electromagnetic induction principle. And so the way that this works is it has a magnet, and then there is a voice coil that is suspended within a magnetic voice coil gap, and that coil is attached to a diaphragm. When sound hits that diaphragm, it moves back and forth sympathetically, and because it's attached to the voice coil moves within the magnetic field. That generates a little voltage in the voice coil, and that becomes the electrical output of your microphone. That kind of defines the characteristics of a moving coil microphone. Because of the mass, these microphones typically have a slower transient response, meaning that they're a little more sluggish to get into motion because of their mass. So when a sound hits it, the mic's like, maybe I'll move. Okay, I'm going to move. It's a little bit slow to start. That means drums, percussion, sounds that have a lot of transient information or fast transients, those things are going to be softened a little bit. Kind of like a very, very mild or light type of compression. So that could be seen technically as a con against the mic because it's not as accurate as the original sound. So it is changed a little bit. But I think for the most part, we like that, and that's why a lot of people choose to use moving coil mics around a drum set a lot of times. Another con of moving coil mics is they don't tend to have as flat or accurate of a frequency response. Again, this is another thing that could be seen as a con, but really if you use it to your advantage, it's not really a con. In fact, there are a lot of moving coil mics that are tailored specifically for certain instruments. So they have their own sound that works generally well with, say, like a kick drum or something like that. The pros of moving coil microphones is that they tend to be very durable. You could probably drop an SM58 100 times and it'll still work. So that makes them very good for uses like around the stage or you're touring, which rest in peace, no more touring. Another pro to moving coil microphones is they tend to be very affordable. I like to use moving coil microphones on just about anything. Drums, brass, percussion, electric guitar amps, vocals, pretty much anything that has a really high sound pressure level. A moving coil microphone is a great choice because they typically can handle anything that you might throw at them. So if you're going to be recording a lot of instruments, I'd say it'd be a good idea to beef up your collection of moving coil dynamic microphones.